I was on an adventure. I was climbing mountains. But the real magic happened when our scoutmaster, Roy Pedersen, asked my dad if he could help out. You see, he asked my dad if he could take our troops' equipment to summer camp, Camp Pico Blanco, that summer. Because my dad had an old 49 Studebaker truck, one of the only trucks in town. And as a result, Dad said okay, and he did. And that was the week that my dad got his first real taste of true, honest-to-God American philanthropy and volunteerism. On that camping trip, I saw my dad transform right before my eyes, although I didn't realize it at the time. I was having too much fun. He connected with what was going on around him. He saw the magic of scouting. He drank the bug juice, you know, that stuff they serve at camp. That fall, my scoutmaster invited my dad to join the troop committee, the transportation chairman. Remember that old truck? Not much has changed in that regard. Fast forward to the night in 1963 when he and my mom pinned my Eagle badge on my chest. I saw in my dad a sense of pride and accomplishment that can only be described as the fulfillment of the American dream through the eyes of an immigrant. When I left for college in 1965, his first and only child to do so, he reached in his pocket and pulled out a crumpled $20 bill and gave it to me, more than he could afford by far. He also gave me a big bear hug and a kiss and an admonition. And that admonition was these words: remember, son, you're an Eagle Scout. Remember, son, you're an Eagle Scout. And if he were alive today, and oh my God, how I wish he were to see me now, he would be the first to tell you, and I'm the second. Well, it's a great country. It is a great country. We are a great country, and I submit that one of the reasons we're a great country is because of 100 years of the Boy Scouts of America. We're bringing new members on board every day, and in doing so, we teach them to become the great leaders that our country needs now and will need in the future. We teach the values of the 12 points of the Scout Law. A Scout is, come on guys, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Those principles and those words to live by are as relevant today as they were 100 years ago. And if they're not, ladies and gentlemen, we're all in deep trouble. It's a slippery slope. So I want to thank you for the privilege of being here, the honor of being before you today. It has been a great honor. But more importantly, I want to thank you individually and collectively for all that you do to support scouting or whatever you support to impact the quality of life in your town. You get it right. God bless you.
Today at the City Club of Cleveland, we are listening to a Friday Forum featuring Robert Mazzuca, Chief Scout Executive for the Boy Scouts of America. We will return to our speaker in a minute for our traditional City Club questions. We encourage you to formulate questions for our speaker now and remind you that your questions should be brief and to the point. We welcome you to this City Club Forum. Our greetings goes to those who are present in this room, especially to those who are guests. We hope you will join the City Club and become active in our ongoing civic dialogue. We welcome guests at tables hosted by Baker Hostetler, the Greater Cleveland Council Boy Scouts of America, the Greater Cleveland Council Scouters, and the Greater Trail Council Boy Scouts of America. Thank you for joining us today. And we are pleased to welcome students today from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Students of Promise. Will our students please stand and be recognized? Today is the Norman A. Sugarman Memorial Forum on Philanthropy in America, made possible by a generous memorial gift from the Norman A. Sugarman Fund at the Council of Jewish Federation. Now, let's return to our speaker for our traditional City Club question and answer period. We welcome questions from everyone, including guests, and holding the microphones today are City Club Outreach and Membership Manager Deborah Agosti and PR and Programs Manager Carrie Miller. First question, please.
You are a phenomenal speaker. I must admit that until today, I was one of those people who thought that the Boy Scouts was just camping. So this was really motivational. But I also wanted to enlighten a population that has really been forgotten in the city of Cleveland. Foster care children especially young men, are more than likely to be incarcerated. Less than 18% of them graduate. And I think this would be an awesome opportunity for them to be involved in. And I don't think have even been offered. I wanted to know, and I hate to put you on the spot,
it's not a spot.
if you were open to creating a partnership with the Department of Children and Family Services so that those young men and young women can be and have the same opportunities and success stories as most of the Boy Scouts have.
The short answer to that is, you betcha. As a matter of fact, we have wonderful examples around the country of partnerships dealing with kids both incarcerated and high risk for incarceration. We actually have some court systems who, you know, like you kid, you're either going to go into Marines or you're going to go to jail. Well, we have at the younger level, kids are going to go into Boy Scouts or we're going to get into the system. And parents, we have lots of examples of that, and Barry can, here locally, can plug into all kinds of resources that we have available to support those kind of collaborations. It's all about collaboration, and it's partnerships like that that will reach these kinds of kids, and we're more than happy to do that. And Barry Norris is the guy right here. I can't help you too much from Irving, Texas, but he can help you from right here in Cleveland.
As a member of one of the boards for Northeastern Ohio, I'm sure that all of our Northeastern Ohio consuls are facing some of the same challenges, probably not unique to any place in the country. But when we did our strategic plan, there were two things that came out. One was membership, and two was fundraising. Any particular comments in those particular challenging areas for consuls such as ours?
Sure. Well, I will tell you what, I was very excited to meet with the staff here in Cleveland today and learn about the success that they're having on both of those fronts. You can't really do much of one without the other. A council that's upside down financially and can't figure out how to meet payroll on Friday is not going to be very creative or innovative and reach out to Children and Family Services to do innovative programming. So solid financial sustainability is critical. But at the end of the day, we're all about growing and passing this program on to as many kids as we can possibly touch. And to the extent that we can work together to make that happen, that's what this national reinvention is all about, bringing resources to bear to help you with your challenges in your town. So.
And in the spirit of be prepared, can you elaborate more how Scouting prepares a lot of young men for the United States military, from traditionally, sure, and where you are relationship and where it's today? Sure.
I will do that at the risk of, I certainly don't want to imply that we are a junior military, and that's not our goal and not our mission. But obviously the military is very interested in young people who are prepared, who have a sense of self-esteem, who have a sense of capacity of leadership, who understand what teamwork is all about. And so just by the very nature of the programs and the things that happen to a young person as he matriculates through our programs, make the military very interested in those kind of candidates. As a matter of fact, an Eagle Scout, should they go into the military, goes in at 1 grade higher than any other recruit automatically just by virtue of being an Eagle Scout. But again, we're not in the business of recruiting for the recruiters in the military, but there is a natural affinity. This is the reason why the military is more than happy to support our jamboree wherever we go. I mean, think about it. I'm in charge of recruiting for the United States Army, and I've got 40,000 teenage kids full of testosterone climbing on my tanks at a jamboree. It doesn't take long to connect the dots, and so they're very interested in what we do. We are interested in taking an individual young person and making them the very best they can possibly be in whatever it is they choose to do. And we do that through issues of self-esteem and the capacity to understand the magic of teamwork and that sort of stuff. We are not in the business of preparing kids to go in the military. But if they choose to do that, we want them to be as prepared as they can possibly be. And I would say a kid in scouting is better prepared to take on the challenges of the military than someone who didn't go through scouting. That was a roundabout way of answering that question, I think.